Call this road made in order. November. October 17th, 2025. Then would you like to do the invitation? It's not working. Okay.
It's on, you gotta get right up on it.
Okay. There you go. I like to. Well, good afternoon.
Now it's off.
Would you join me in a prayer on this absolutely drop dead gorgeous day? Oh, the creator, sustainer of all things. All that is or that will never be, accept our thanks for this day and for all of its blessings. We ask that you guide and direct our love, its leaders, and our actions. Grant that each of us may feel our responsibilities to Rotary and to our community, to our country, and to all the countries and peoples. Bless our fellowship today and bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies in your service. Amen. Thank you. Works like a champion. Just got to hold it right. Yeah, you ready for the secretary report? Yeah, which is 7 today. Take numbers. Well, it's okay. You've got to see a guest in the I'm saying that everybody interviews you in the setting. Okay, that's it. All right. Chris is going to go off on the sergeant at arms because of the number of speakers we have. And to leave more quick time for question and answer. She got floppy with you, Bill. So, Brian. Are you ready?
Sorry, my fault.
Oh, that's all right.
We're gonna do an abbreviated report.
Yeah, okay.
No report. All right. Oh, I had the font size increased to 18. I still need the glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged today. We're going to have an induction. Jonas Hilbert. New people join the club. Jonas, please stand and be recognized. Where are you? There he is. Jonas was raised right here in Beavercreek. Graduated Beavercreek in 2000. He started in banking and mortgage lending, but he always wanted to be have his own business. So after a lot of research, he discovered it would require a large amount of financial investment to start a business, but he did find that one thing that didn't require a large upfront investment. So he started selling homes. So he became a realtor. And his goal was to own his own brokerage firm. He started in 2016, and in 2018, he started Street Life Realty, currently located in Washington Township. He currently has 16 agents. He owns several rental properties. He does have a couple of hobbies. The first one is hunting. And I asked what kind. He said pretty much all of it. Squirrel, turkey, deer. If he's allowed to hunt it, he'll hunt it. Then he talked about this, and I thought, I'll bring it up. You can ask him some more details. He likes hunting squirrels. He gets enough of them to make squirrel street tacos. Yeah. I'm not judging, just there you have it. He has a place in Kentucky that he likes to hunt. This thing's going in and out. He also likes American history. One of his favorite places he's been is in Boston. Now his other hobby is playing guitar. He said he isn't very good, but he does enjoy playing everything from metal to bluegrass. I love that. As long as it's a good guitar part. Jonas is also a member of the Beavercreek Chamber. He's married to Miranda for 15 years now, and they have twin 14-year-olds, Theodore and Ray. His Rotary sponsor is Beth Handworker. And okay, Jonas, you may be seated. These words today are directed primarily at our new inductee. I hope it'll serve to remind us, all of us, what Rotary asks of its members. Rotary is a service club. While we enjoy the fellowship of our weekly meetings, we must never forget that Rotary is first and foremost a service organization. And we provide service to not only Beavercreek, but all parts of the world. What we expect of our new inductees is regular attendance at our meetings, makeups if you have to miss our Friday noon lunch, wear your Rotary pin everywhere. Of course, Eric would like you to promptly respond to the quarterly invoice, participation in our various programs, and above all, selection of that particular program area of service that most appeals to you. With all the things our club does, I'm sure you'll find something to get involved with. We also ask that you learn the four-way test. It's a guiding principle of Rotary, and it's also a great rule of thumb for daily living. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? It's over there in case you need to look it up. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? These four criteria should always influence your personal and business decisions. This club can accomplish as much as it does because members are willing to share in its leadership. Take advantage of these various opportunities. And remember the motto of Rotary, service above self. In the days ahead, the club will give you many opportunities. Things going in and out, isn't it? This club will give you many opportunities to put that motto to work. We are sure you'll respond to the best of your ability. So at this time, Jonas, Mrs. Jonas, please come forward. Miranda and Beth. And we have someone install the pin. It's very easy. It's a magnet. That's actually quite strong magnet. So you're gonna have separate it.
Take it in the middle.
Me. There.
How's that sound?
We got it.
All right, here we go.
Fine, everybody, I call it that or Saturday go live. All right, everybody look at me, look at me. Smile, one more. Perfect, so
Thank you.
good one. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present our newest Rotarian. Appreciate it. And a fancy new envelope. That's why I did it. Thank you. All right. All right, folks. All right, there we go. So we know today is Levy Day. We have 3, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I miscounted. At least that's what was on my ballot. We have 2 countywide and 1 city. So we'll start with the countywide. Since we have since there are fewer, we're going to go 5 minutes each. Okay, everybody fair? Good with that? 5 minutes each. Who wants to timer? Amanda, thank you. She will run the timer. When she raises her hand, that means you gotta be quiet. So at this time, we're gonna start off with the health department. And I'm sorry, I don't have your name.
My name is Melissa.
Melissa is going to talk to us about the health department levy. Welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Howe. I am the health commissioner for Green County. I have been here since 2013. Prior to that, my service was both in Preble and Montgomery County. So over the course of my career, I've been a disease investigator and I've been kind of a public health administrator. Before that, I have over 30 years of nursing experience and I have experience as a registered environmental health sanitarian. So back at the office, they tell me, well, come give a shot today and maybe tomorrow I'll be out inspecting a restaurant. So for me, life is never boring, believe me. And public health really is one of those things that's never boring either. I don't think I'll be taking my entire 5 minutes. Yay. Just so you know, public health has a long list of programs and services that we provide in communities all across Ohio and all across the United States. So very quickly, Greene County Public Health will be on the ballot this year. It is a renewal levy, a 0.8 mil 5-year operating levy. All of those dollars only go to programs and services, administrative overhead, as you often hear about. And this levy was first passed in 2010. We've been having levies on the ballot since 1954. So this ballot or this issue was first on the ballot in 2010. It was a 0.8 mil 5-year operating levy, generated about $3.5 million a year of our $8 million budget. And today in November, when you go to the ballot, it will again generate about $3.5 million of our $8 million budget. So it's no increase in taxes for anyone. By Ohio law, health departments are restricted to what types of taxes we can receive. So we don't get excise tax, sales tax, any of those other versions of tax. The law restricts us to just property tax. So I just wanted to let all of you know that that's how we are funded in some ways. We are responsible for, by law, about 5 different areas that we are required to be accredited. We just received our reaccreditation last month, but we're required by law to improve health in various areas, including chronic disease, communicable disease, injury prevention, environmental health, maternal child health, and access to care. Our levies typically in the last decade or so have always passed at 70%. We're certainly hopeful that that will be the case. Things change all the time. And that's the one thing I can say about public health is that we know and understand that what matters in a community as far as public health and what the most pressing health issues are in a community are what matters. So we do a community health assessment every 3 years. And that is where we send surveys out to the residents and ask them, what are the most pressing health issues that you have? And so we'll be doing that again here in April. I do appreciate your time. Certainly if you have questions, I'll see me after or email the health department because we are 365, 24/7 kind of operation. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, I think we'll have time for questions after, depending on what the clock says here. Okay, thank you. Now we have the library, and I believe the lovely and talented Becca Perales will be addressing us.
Thank you so much.
So, all right.
Take it away.
And I like you, I've got this in 18-point, so I could probably hold up the paper and you could all read it, but I still need my glasses, okay? Right. I am Becca Perales, and I am here on behalf of the library. And I want to thank you all for the opportunity to share about issue 2 supporting your Greene County Public Library. Your library has consistently delivered effective resources and services, all while maintaining responsible stewardship. Issue 2 will help your library keep its services in place, especially for our kids, our seniors, and our businesses, and keep your community strong. With over 100,000 cardholders in Greene County, your library is busier than ever. Over 80,000 of those cardholders take part in almost 4,000 on-site and virtual programs, and circulation of all materials is at all-time highs. However, changes in state funding threaten Greene County Public Library's ability to keep services and materials at levels your community demands and needs. We have already seen reductions. I'm here today to ask you in this community to vote for issue 2 on this November's ballot. Issue 2 is a 1 mil levy for a period of 10 years, less than $3 a month per 100,000 assessed home value. This levy, which will never increase, even if property values do, will ensure your library keeps current services and holdings in place and grows those resources to keep your community strong. Vote for our kids. The 7 branches of your library work with and support your school districts and daycares. It holds over 900 story times a year. The Bookmobile visits over 2,000 kids a month. Tutoring program has helped more than 10,000 students in the last 4 years. And who here hasn't heard of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library? Vote for our seniors. Your library delivers thousands of books to seniors who are isolated in their homes and in care facilities. Your library teaches technology to seniors in your senior center. And of course, seniors that never pay fines at your library. I'm one of those. Vote for our businesses. Your library provides internet access and public computers that hundreds use every year for job searches and applications. It supports business development and entrepreneurship through Sparkplace, the library's makerspace serving Greene County. I invite you on November 4th for an early voting or an absentee ballot to vote for issue 2 and help your local Greene County Public Library keep what it has and keep your community strong. Support issue 2. If you'd like a sign, please see Carl after the meeting. He's got plenty of them. And talk to your family and friends about this levy. Remember, it's $35 a year for most property owners, and it will never increase even if property values do. Vote to help keep your community strong and provide resources and services used by you and more than 60% of Greene County. Help your Greene County Library keep what it has. And if you want to know how much that's going to raise for the library, it'll be about $6 million to keep that library strong. So thank you very much. If you've got questions, I guess we'll ask them later. Super.
Next up, the Beavercreek Schools, and I don't know who's, there he goes. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, you gonna keep it under 5 minutes like the previous two?
Under 5 minutes for sure. See you, thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tyler Alexander. I'm the Director of Business Services for Beavercreek City Schools. Paul Otten, our superintendent, apologizes that he cannot be here. His son is a senior swimmer at Alabama, and so there's a senior event this afternoon, and he is on his way to Tuscaloosa right now. The Beavercreek City Schools has an emergency levy renewal on the ballot in November. That is a 5-year renewal for 6.8 mils. The history of this levy, it was a combination of 2 levies, one that was passed in 2001 and one that was passed in 2003. In 2010, the voters approved combining those 2 levies. So this levy has been drawing for the district for over 20 years. This is a fixed sum levy, so there is no increase in taxes. It generates the same amount of money that it generated in 2001 and 2003 when they were passed individually, and then when they were combined, it draws the same amount as well. This is an operations levy, which includes curriculum, utilities, bus fuel, salaries, benefits, etc. This is not a bond issue. This is not for construction. The district has been on the ballot the last 2 elections for a bond issue that did not pass. This is operational and not for a bond. We get a lot of questions about what happens if this levy does not pass. If the levy does not pass, we would run it again in May of 2026. The levy does not fall off until January 1 of 2027. If we do not pass though in November, we will have a cut package that is in place for August 1 of next year for the 26-27 school year, because we would lose funding in the middle of that school year. So making cuts mid-year becomes very difficult. So the district would have a cut package that is in place. This levy will collect $18.5 million annually, which is 16% of the district's budget. Losing this funding would greatly impact the Beaver Creek City Schools and the programming, and Beaver Creek City Schools will look different if this levy does not go through. Important piece about the levy and the importance of this November. The budget bill from the most recent budget bill, the governor had line item vetoed 4 items that concern school funding. Since then, one of those vetoes has been was overridden by the House and the Senate, and that pertains to emergency levies and substitute levies, which is what this levy is. So beginning January 1, you cannot run an emergency levy or a substitute levy any longer. Since this levy was passed prior to 2013, there is a 2.5% rollback that our community benefits from, that the state of Ohio covers for the district. If we were to fail in November and run again in May, that 12.5% rollback would go away, and our taxpayers would be responsible for that 12.5%. I mentioned earlier that this is not a bond issue. We are getting a lot of questions, and we're trying to get information out because we were on the ballot for a bond issue the last 2 elections. We are still growing. Because we're not asking for a bond right now doesn't mean that we're not growing. Our district is growing, and the growth is unsustainable at this point. We are full across the district, and in some cases overflowing. So where we are at with that is we are in the planning phases, and we hope to put focus groups together and after the first of the year to begin looking at Plan B. But if you can help us get the message out that this is operating, that would be helpful.
30 seconds for you, hon.
Thank you. I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. I'll go ahead and hang out here, Tyler. So, Becca, Carl, if you want to come up, Melissa, does anybody have any questions for these fine ladies and gentlemen? Becca?
This is a question for everybody. I might not use the right words here, but what are your concerns about a potential removal of property taxes? And how do we get funding for these services if we don't have property taxes?
You have the easy answer. You'll start with the library.
Well, I'm seeing that everywhere because I'm on more than just the library foundation. And that's gonna, especially here with no income tax for the city, just gonna kill us. I mean, it's really gonna be tough. But I'm not exactly sure unless Beth, if you want to yell out an answer, I could phone a friend or.
Yeah, I can offer the information
Yes,
that the library's funding is more than 60% from local property tax funding. So it would have a straight out demolition effect.
it's terrible.
The elimination of property taxes would decimate the school district. We cover property taxes are 90% of our budget. 10% of our budget comes from the state, and so eliminating property taxes would completely decimate the school district. School funding would have to look drastically different. Our schools would start failing dramatically if property taxes went away. It's not just a Beavercreek thing; that's across the state.
So we kind of live by hope for the best and prepare for the worst all the time. So I will tell you that we have emergency funds set aside, which the county auditor worked with us. So we can operate for 1 more year, which would allow us to go through a closed down process. I think what would happen in public health, because by a show of hands, who wants to see sewage running onto the ground or, mice running through your local restaurants and stuff like that? The function still has to exist in some way, or public health deteriorates. So what will that look like? I think it's possible that some functions in health departments, as we've done over the last 50 years, can be regionalized. So for example, does every single county need a health commissioner? Maybe not. It's a talking head, right? But do you need somebody who's going to give you a birth and death certificate? Do you need somebody who's going to come out and inspect your restaurants? Or do you want to wait for somebody from Montgomery County to do that for you? Or potentially even Columbus? So these levy funds help support activities locally. They don't go anywhere else, but certainly when they say devastating, it will be devastating, but we have prepared somewhat for it as well.
When I say that school funding would have to look different constitutionally, the state has to fund schools. And so it's going to come from somebody's pockets, to fund schools, but it will look way different than what it does right now.
Just as an FYI, Beth, the state does not have to fund anybody else constitutionally. Any other questions? Chris?
So, for the schools, assuming that the package, everything fails, includes layoffs and all that, correct?
I mean, it would, there's no way you can lose 18.5 million over the course of 5 years and not touch people. With salaries and benefits are well over 80% of what a school district's budget is. And so there's no way you can get to that number without reducing people.
So then with all of the data and stuff that you're looking at, if there is a plan B, plan C, if it does fail, has it been looked into what the impact would be as far as severance pay, packages, unemployment, and all that fun stuff?
So that's a treasurer question. I don't want to speak on that. I can tell you that Joy Kitsville, our treasurer, I mean, she lives in this world day in and day out when it comes to planning for the future and looking at these items. I know things are kind of a moving target right now. There's lots of pieces out there that with legislation that impact school funding and property taxes. So she has all kinds of things on the table. But I don't know exactly what those are, but I do know that she's planning and trying to hit that target.
Sir Charles?
What about the issue of the reserves? Could you give us an idea, what's going on in the state in terms of requiring reserves or putting a cap on the reserves that you can have them?
Yeah, so the reserves, that was one of the items that Governor DeWine line item vetoed. Right now, that has not gone through the House and the Senate. It has not been overrode. So right now there is not a cap on that. But that is obviously something that's lingering out there that the district would have to adhere to. It's just like our district is planning, and we know that there's increased costs when it comes to electricity and utilities and purchasing buses and fixing roofs and all of those components. So reserves are important to us. We understand that we want to be cognizant and we want to be respectful of taxpayer dollars, but the reserves are very important to make sure that if something catastrophic happens to a building, that we have the funds to be able to fix that building so we can continue to educate kids. There is a forum on school funding or on the finances of our district next week on Tuesday, October 21st at Maine Elementary at 6 o'clock. If anybody is interested, Joy and Paul will both be there and be able to answer questions and deliver that information.
Follow up? Eric?
With the banning, I guess, of renewal and is it renewal and emergency levies or replacement?
Emergency and substitute.
Okay, so without having emergency levies, what sorts of avenues will schools going forward have for additional funds to operate? Because obviously, if you're fixed at, say, $1 million a year from a given levy, we can't expect that same $1 million is gonna buy the same amount of stuff 10 years from now. Because inflation happens no matter what you do. So what avenues do we have for additional funds?
So it's not, so the terminology substitute and emergency go away. What those become are called fixed sum levies. So you can run a fixed sum levy in the future. So there are ways to put levies on the ballot or funding. There are also components in school funding, and I don't want to go too much into the weeds, but you've got levies that fall on the 20 mil floor where you do see some increase as property values go up. You see some increases in funding. There are levies that don't fall on the 20 mil floor that you don't see. This is one of those that what the $18 million that it drew in 2010 is what it draws now. And so all of those levies are treated a little bit different. So there is some increased funding on those levies that fall onto the floor.
Any other questions?
I just thought one more thing about libraries is that it's $6 million a year that will raise. And that allows for that 10 years, allows the library to do future planning, allows them to look at their facilities and keep them at the level they are right now. And then to do things like replace bookmobiles and things that they'd have to take loans for, but if they plan, then we keep our library strong and our community strong as well.
Thank you. Chris? Oh,
I just wanted to address the caps, too. So in the governor's report, there was 100%, on all of the funds. So as the health department, we have about 15 different funds because by law, you have to track all that separately. So you could carry over 100% of whatever our levy generated for that. However, not all of those funds come from the levy generating funds. So for me, the $3.5 million with a 100% cap is $3.5 million that we can carry over. So that's really important to us during times such as when we had the tornado here. It's not like we're already, if you go home and look at your tax bill, you're going to see we're the tiny one. It's like $20 for 100,000 of your property valuation. But so we have the smallest levy, but yet during emergencies such as the tornado that came through, what it allowed us to do really is draw on funds. There's not like extra money that shows up for tornado, right? We can pull on those funds. We were out in the field. Every single business that we, operate or license and inspect was open within about 5 or 6 days if it was able to be opened. So something like Permonte Brothers, we're not sure anything about, but we were out there within 1 week, had everything open, ready to go. And that's what that reserve does for us.
okay. Okay.
So question for the libraries. Obviously Kindle and Audible are huge for the ebooks and audiobooks that everyone listens to, but shows you have to pay for, pay a subscription for. Through the library, you get a library card, you have Google and Libby, that you can get all that free.
Right.
With those becoming more and more popular, is that an increased cost for the library to buy licenses for all the individual books? Have you seen it by a different price, or how does that affect as far as the budget goes?
I do believe the price is going up. And Carl, want to give some information?
I share the information, yes, those costs are increasing. And we, like everyone, have to make choices about how to allocate those resources. The community has embraced those resources, but right now we're unable to grow in the way that would be possible with that sustained future planning. So right now we really, it's an amazing kind of both and. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but we're typically seeing 20% year-on-year growth year after year after year after year in those services.
So I will add information to that. Libby is one of the, Overdrive is one of the downloadable options that we have, and to stretch and to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars, we belong to a consortium with larger libraries such as Columbus, to have extra buying power to get those licenses at a good cost.
Yes, we will share the information, and we are careful to pick your neighbor's pockets to make sure that.
Well said, Carl. Any other questions? We still have plenty of time, folks. Don't be shy. Well, then let's thank our panelists for coming. All right. I have a winning ticket while our president comes up. So get your tickets out. The winning ticket number 826-555. Yeah. All right. I will find a deck of cards and I'll turn this thing. Keep out of here. Yeah. Thank you very much. So, you know, oh, so you get Tyler to sign it? Painted. That's, yeah. See, I actually painted the word. Yeah. Oh, I'm dirty. So now make a house, the library and take it. It's fun. So it's good that it's not on the, oh, right. Right, you're not, I mean, it's gonna, we're right, but, yeah. So I cut measure. You refinance, I right for it, and I'm telling you, was, and I think then in 2 months, it's so small, yeah. So there, yeah, there's just, like, you know, got that down for 40 minutes. Pretty much harder, that, first time was better. Think we all get down there, let's do that. Yeah, I was directed to get Jonas, inducted, and I went right by the drawing and the happy bucks. One simple job. We got any happy bucks today? Anybody? Yes, sir.
I just wanna, give kudos to our, fiscal officer and our finance department. Recently, Beavercreek Township just completed our biennium audit. And state auditor, they always come up with these cool acronyms for different ratings and everything. The last few years now, they have a new rating called STAR system, in which they rate all local governments and public entities about open and transparent government. I'm happy to report, Beavercreek Township was just awarded a certificate for highest achievement in open and transparent. So we're very proud of that. And also next week, our finance department, so I'll give it a second happy plug, our finance department to be receiving a impact award from Software Solutions. Software Solutions is one of the premier software suites in the country that provides accounting and finance software items. And they have established a new award called the Impact Award. And Beavercreek Township is the first in the country to receive this award. So we're going to be going up there to their annual conference to receive that. So kudos to you, as I said.
Good news. Is there any other happy bucks? Oh, yeah. Carl?
Mr. President, I arrived with 20 happy bucks for the 20 minutes that it took Pete Bell and Resto Pro to come rescue the Greene County Public Library. Causing a huge mess at our Kinsey Road processing facility. We couldn't have had better service and we're very grateful.
Anybody else? Yeah.
So this, about 4 days ago, Feed the Creek posted that we are starting to do our Thanksgiving food boxes for the families for the holidays, and we do 300, at least 300 of those boxes. And as of today, we have about 130 of them, those boxes being filled. So that's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you, Carl. I have another happy buck though. My wife and I just returned from a wonderful trip to London and it was a fantastic vacation, and I'm happy to be back.
Sound good.
Shameless promotion, but this weekend, Fairborn has their Halloween festival. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and my band is playing Saturday from 3 to 4:30. So put on your favorite costume and come on out and we'll rock and roll.
All right. Yeah, you had your hand up?
Did. Right. So, as you guys know, I own a real estate brokerage, and as of yesterday, I just found out I'm gonna be one of the instructors for Hondros to actually teach principles and practices for new real estate agents for the Dayton area.
So, I have a happy button. This is hot off the press. We found out yesterday that Paul Otten has been named the Ohio Superintendent of the Year. Now, very soon, on that award, but, we are blessed to be able to work for Paul. And, he's a great person and a great leader, and this award is very well deserved. So, congrats.
Yeah.
We got two happy bucks. One, I forget if I said this last week, but I passed the CFA level 2 exam, really hard. So, and then also I am moving in this weekend, so I'm gonna be living in my house.
Yes.
So I shared last week, we were having I was hosting the walking taco booth at the Union Apple Butter Festival. We raised almost $1,900 for the Boy Scouts. So I've done it. It's really exciting.
Yeah. I know most of you know this, but I'm sorry, did anybody else have anything?
Oh, I got one. I brought Junior and Israel fall break, but, so as parents of soccer, so the last 2 weekends we've had soccer tournaments and they've won both. And this week is the Haunted, so he's going for the Triple Crown this weekend. So.
Very good. Check out that sweatshirt you got on too. That's right in there with, there's only 14 days to Halloween in case I didn't. But yeah, you know, we have got some amazing people that work in the city of Beavercreek. The jobs they do, you heard the awards, the bookkeeping and the library, and we've got money that was, basically, Beavercreek School just got 2.1 million, something else awarded to them. So they're doing a great job. We need to keep supporting them. Thank you. Anybody else have anything? Done.
The trunk or treat on Sunday is 95% sure that it's gonna switch to next week. Because the weather, it's rain.
Oh, okay.
Sumon's gonna call you, confirm us, but it's right now 95%.
Okay.
This Sunday.
Good, because I was gonna bring up about being out there Sunday. We'll need, floaties, I think, to go from what they're saying, it's supposed to be raining all day long.
Shifted because of the weather.
Oh, it's Saturday, get up to the fair one, Halloween, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a good time. Everyone does it up, real nice.
Dave.
Oh, Doc?
There's one other thing that we need to recognize when you talk about Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek in the top cities, most desirable cities in the state. We just moved up to number 3 on that list. Yeah.
All right. That's amazing. Very good. All right, anything else we need? You know, our 50/50 drawing, just throw it out there, it goes for our Christmas package. I know most of you already know that. But I wanted to remind you that. Is there anything else to be brought up today? You all right for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag that is America, and to the republic which stands one nation. With liberty. Everybody, sorry.
For all life. We don't believe you.
How did you care? I did you on camera?
There you are.